Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video here on XRP. We're going to do a full update here for the weekend. I'll obviously be back tomorrow as well to talk about next week. Next week is going to be quite big in terms of volatility, with obviously April the 2nd being one of the deadlines for the tariffs, but just in general the tariff headlines are still very much coming in, and that also has an effect on XRP. I mean, it's very indirect, but it does have a strong effect. So we need to know about that. But for now, wanted to talk a little bit more about the price action over the course of the last couple of days and what the current status is of XRP. Because to be completely honest, and I've said that in my last couple of videos as well, and those last couple of videos were right, which I think is the positive sign, because, or at least is the positive we have to take out of it, because obviously the price action right now for XRP has not been great. Now, some of you might say, well, that's just the market, all right? That has nothing to do with Ripple. XRP is fine. And to a certain extent, I agree, because if I take a look at this range right here that XRP has been in, between $2 and this level right here at 2.8, that we've been in since the 3rd of December, I would say that it is most likely that we will be able to hold this range, all right? So that we will be able to remain at least stable. So in that sense, I still think XRP is one of the best altcoins, one of the best assets in crypto to buy. However, it's absolutely false to just say, well, what some of you might think, I don't know, maybe not, hopefully not, but it's absolutely false to say that XRP has just been bearish because the market has been bearish. Because the market has had a tough time, obviously, especially the last 2 days. With all the external factors pushing US equities down, US equities pushing Bitcoin down, Bitcoin dominance being quite high, Bitcoin pushing everything down. All right, so that is true. But at the same point of time, what we can also see, and that is a bit of a scary thought, is that XRP BTC, since the major case update we had last week, has not been doing great. All right, XRP BTC since then, that pump we had, has been trending down. All right, and it has been, dare I say, very, very weak. All right, now we've been weak like this before, and ultimately I do think that at this point of time it is still most likely that this major XRP BTC support level we're at, because we are at support here, we're at the top right here, as you can see, but we still have a lot of support left below us. I still think that's going to hold. All right, so I have not turned my cheek to XRP. Well, that's not the right saying, but I've not forgotten about XRP. I still think XRP, with some developments and just in general with the extra resources now that the case is closed, or a potential new catalyst such as the XRP ETF, I still think that we can hold this level. But the thing we have to be slightly cautious for is the fact that I'm wrong, all right? Because I could be wrong, and it could be that this is the start of a major XRP BTC downtrend. And in that, if that's going to happen, XRP is not going to be holding its main support level at $2. We're going to drop down lower into 1.75, into 1.5, and lower still. So that is something you do need to keep in mind. Now, like I said, given that XRP BTC is at support right here, and given that XRP itself is also near a major support here around $2, I do think we're going to hold that. All right, short term, I still think we're going to be bearish. I think we're going to be pushing down. That's also my expectation for next week. But ultimately, from that last push, you know, maybe ideally we have some sort of a fake out here and we reclaim it. But ultimately, I do think we'll be able to hold this and get some bullish momentum from $2, from which we will see again if we can get to that POC like we did the last time or not. But that remains something we will talk about. At least for now, I'd say this is the most likely scenario. So those are my thoughts. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.